Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
I love people as I meet them one by one. People are just wonderful as individuals. You see the whole...
My great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being.
I am the greatest. We're not disputing that, Cassius, but how does Sonny Liston feel about it? He can't feel but one way, and let's take everything I say and like it. Because February the 25th, I'm going to take back my job. I'm the champ. He's no champ. He's a tramp.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close my ancestors speak, they tell me they're tired of them praying on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I surpass peak, until they think we are equal. Please, all I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their palms would bleed, begging that generations remember our story.
Grand Rising. Peace and blessings to the people. Come on in. Let's talk. Let's talk about it. Don't seem like anybody else wants to. It sure as hell don't seem like anybody else give a shit. So if they're not gonna do it, then we gotta do it. Happy Tuesday, man. I hope all is well with everybody. I appreciate you for pulling up. You see the title. Did you see the clips? Did you hear the news? Tragic. Absolutely tragic. Disrespectful. I can't believe it, but I can. We got a lot to unpack here. I got two clips I'm gonna play. I'm gonna share my thoughts on it. My condolences to the family, my condolences to his friends, and my heart goes out to everybody on campus who had to be a part of something in history that, quite frankly, is disgusting. This is nothing more than deplorable. There's no way around it. It's a slap in our face. It's a slap in the face of these college students that's going there to find their way in life. It's a slap in the face to the parents who took their hard-earned money to pour into these infrastructures that's supposed to be there to educate and keep their loved ones safe. Is a slap in the face to our government, to our justice system, to these neighborhoods. It's a slap in the face to anybody with a fucking brain. Shout out to my poets, my writers, my content creators. You know who you are. I got to give you my flowers. This ain't going to be pretty. I made a post, and we're going to get there. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and do this first. I'm going to run this first one. Let's run this first one. Give a recap, just in case someone is not up to speed on what's going on here. And then we'll proceed to move forward. Because this is bullshit. This is really bullshit. Like, you don't really have to agree with me per se, but y'all already know what's been happening for the last week or so. It's been about Charlie Kirk, and the shooter. That's all we've been talking about. The woman from Ukraine that got killed on the train. It's been about that all this time. Well, I asked the question and I want answers. This is a quick recap. Just in case you don't know what I'm talking about.
With breaking news, a tragic discovery this morning at Delta State University. University officials say a body was found on campus early this morning. Staff members discovered the individual and immediately notified campus police and local authorities, who are now investigating. In a response, the school canceled all classes and centennial events scheduled for the day. In a statement, Delta State shared condolences to the family and friends impacted, saying the community is deeply saddened by the loss. Newscast with breaking news, a tragic.
All right. That's just one little quick tip. They're not giving you full context and detail. Black man discovered hung from a tree. Another one hung from a tree. A young man who said, look, I want something out of life. I want more from this world. I want to use my brain and my intellect to represent me out here in the country. I do not want to be judged for the color of my skin. I want to be a contributor to humanity. I want to do something that separates me from the ignorance that is consistently being portrayed in front of the United States of America every day. I do not want to be stereotyped. My family loved me. My family cared about me. My family sacrificed so that I could be put in a position where I didn't have to grow up the way they did. I didn't have to be ignorant. I didn't have to misunderstand context. I didn't have to be loud and violent and obnoxious. I didn't have to be overly aggressive. I didn't have to be looked at like the stereotypical black man in the United States. I am a young black man beating the odds. I'm doing something that statistically is not very promising to most of us ever. Most black people do not get the chance to go to college. Most black people don't even want to go to college. Most black people would prefer to work 9-to-5 jobs. Most people would prefer to just be in their community. They don't want to escape the matrix. They don't want to see anything other than death, drugs, violence. Most black people are being taught horribly, raised horribly, suffering through generational curses, stuff that we can never seem to break, cycles that we can never break because we ignore them, because we pretend like the spiritual aspect of life just doesn't exist. This young man said, I don't care about being popular. I don't care about fitting in. I don't care if you like what I say or do. I don't care if I have to be alone or be away from the typical norm that people deem to be popular. I'm going to be an independent individual in this world, and I'm going to do something with the life that I am giving. I'm upset. I'm highly upset. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted extremely because I don't understand how we could let something like this happen again. Or why aren't our voice more prominent when it matters. I don't give a fuck about Drake. I don't care about whose album sold more. I don't care who won between Drake and Ken. I don't give a shit about none of that. Why? One, because it's nothing more than entertainment. Two, because it does nothing for Black culture. It's a distraction. It's only presented to line their pocket. These people are rich. They don't understand the struggle. They don't understand the suffering that goes on outside of their space. They're comfortable where they're at. I don't hear or see not a single one of these famous rappers or singers. I don't see your favorites on TikTok or Twitter or Facebook or Rumble or YouTube going live stream speaking about the demise and the fall of Black culture. They make their music, they promote, they advertise. Cardi B was just pulled up on top of her fucking car, pregnant, shaking her ass, promoting her album. Where are all your favorites? Where are they at having conversations about this? When I was born and I saw how my grandparents were, and I seen that life was not as comfortable as I would have liked it to be, I thought I could be whatever I wanted. I thought it was okay to want to be something in this world, to be a police officer, to be a part of the government. I thought as a Black person, I'm just a regular person. I'm just a regular person that wants to contribute to society. Heaven forbid I want to protect people. As a child, heaven forbid I want drugs off the street. I don't want to grow up around death. I don't want people shooting in the neighborhoods. I don't. Excuse the fuck out of me. As a child, I just wanted to bring peace and joy and happiness and things of that nature to people. I didn't have any I'm just young. I'm a fucking child. I'm 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. I grew up on Power Rangers, Captain Planet. I grew up on shows where families were wholesome. Excuse me if I never adapted to wanting to inherit ignorance and anger and violence and bigotry. Excuse me if I look at people as people, as humans. I don't see color. I don't see race. I see wrong and right. I don't care about nothing else. Wrong and right. Don't care what side of the fence you're on, my nigga. As a child, I'm just like, I just want to contribute to the world. Then the older you get, the more you get introduced to, and you realize just how fucked up the world is. How much we lie, how much we contradict, how hypocritical we are. Grown adults trolling, grown adults crying and bitching and complaining, grown adults pointing the finger at everybody else, grown adults actually speaking on things but not really speaking on them, grown adults fighting amongst each other except for addressing the problem, which is actually bigger than just what's inside of our community. Yeah. I'm fucking baffled. I can't believe as a child I'm looking at my own race doing the shit that I thought we was supposed to be not doing. As a child looking at white people look at me funny. I'm like, why the fuck going to school, getting taught about Black history and them limiting us on certain education when it comes to that part of our upbringing and our heritage. We got another Black man that is no longer here because they want us to believe something that is completely false. You know, and I know who is responsible for this in theory. Staff, student, or police. Which one? Take a pick. Which one was it? I want to present to you Exhibit B. This further got me furious. And, you know, because most people don't give a fuck that we just lost another one, it's up to me to give a fuck. At least let me do my part. At least I said something. Maybe most people won't hear it. Maybe most people won't give who cares about the shit. At least I said something about it. Yeah, we have to have a conversation. Let this brother cook real quick.
Now, y'all know I posted a video this morning on the Black teen that were found hanging in a tree at Delta State University, right? Now, the school saying that it wasn't no foul play, it wasn't no threat on campus. But wait, let's backtrack real quick. Now, they saying where they found him at, it wasn't no camera on campus. On a university, right? No cameras on a university in that specific spot. So you mean to tell me he walked past 100 trees on that campus just to go to that specific tree? Now, everybody's saying that both of his legs were broke. He looked like he was whooped on. Now, my question is this. If a person gonna unalive themselves, hang themselves in a tree, why would they go somewhere where there's no cameras? Why they just can't do it in open? I mean, if you're gonna unalive yourself, you might as well just do it in open, right? Whether it's cameras there or not. To me, it's obvious that somebody took him there. They knew he went on cameras right there. And y'all don't think that shit suspicious? Let me just say this. Why every time somebody get found hanging in a tree, there's no evidence nowhere in sight? Don't nobody get caught. I have yet seen someone solve one of these cases. So y'all telling me that this the only way that you can get away with the N-word, by hanging somebody in a tree. Now, y'all know I posted a video.
Someone help me understand this one. So your man was found with all of his limbs broken. Broken. Legs broken, all that. Taken away from any visibility. So a brother breaks his own legs, and then I don't know, he fucking crawls through the campus, finds him a nice little cozy spot with broken legs. Oh, this is perfect. This is the perfect space to kill myself. Excellent. So with broken legs, he takes a rope and somehow he devises some type of pulley system to harness himself up the tree, position it, and still execute it off camera, away from all the spaces that he could have done it. Right. Either you think we are dumb, or you just basically are blatantly saying, fuck you. It can only be one or the other. It can only be one or the other. Because there's no way in the world that you're going to convince me that this young man, with all of the evidence that's showing and suggesting that he was beaten, And on top of that, it was so excessive that his body was broken before they finally ended that man's life. Get the fuck out of here. The man made so many good points here. We really need to talk about it, because it was just a month ago, if that, where I was talking about the black man who got hung in a tree in New York. What happened with that? Was the crime solved? They blamed that on suicide. Matter of fact, if correct me if I'm wrong, people, has there been one incident where a black brother that's been reportedly hung, has any of those crimes been solved, or have all of them been deemed as suicidal? Okay. Comment section after the stream, before, whatever. Help me out. I want to know if I'm tripping or not, because I don't know any black people hanging themselves. Black people will shoot themselves. They will overdose on drugs. They might fucking jump in traffic. They might drown. Black people are not hanging themselves. That is not a cultural connection whatsoever. You're never going to convince me that. This shit is a signal or a signature. You remember Colombiana? Anybody seen Colombiana? Her signature was the flower. Every time she killed somebody, she left that shit behind. This is a signature from specific people who want you to know we did it. You can't prove it. Move on with your life. I'm not moving on with a fucking thing. Fuck no. Hell no. Charlie Kirk is on the news all day, every day. Charlie Kirk is in everybody's conversations. Charlie Kirk is in everybody's posts and everybody's uploads. Everybody is talking Republican and leftist and rightist. Everybody's talking about he was racist. Everybody got all this shit to say about who he was as a person. Was he telling the truth? Was he a liar? Was he this? Was he that? Donald Trump flew that man's body personally back to get it buried and prepared to go into the ground. Donald Trump took on the role as to step in and speak on behalf of him. Where's all the energy for this black man right here? Why haven't I ever seen Donald Trump or anybody from the House of Representatives speaking on all of the mass hangings of black people? Why? Why so quiet? Why so silent? You want me to fucking pay these high ass premiums? You want me to pay my car insurance on time? You want me to pay my electricity on time? You want me to pay my internet service on time? You want me to pay for the speeding tickets? You want me to pay for this? You want me to pay for that? You want me to pay for this? Y'all want everything from us, but you can't stand us. You hate us. You're envious of us. You're jealous of us. When was the last time America was great? When was the last time you had somebody on social media speaking about these injustices freely without being canceled? When was the last time you seen Candace Owens, Shannon Sharp, Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z. When was the last time you heard Floyd Mayweather get on camera and talk about anything remotely related to this right here, right now in the moment? This shit keeps happening and happening and happening, and it seems like don't nobody care. This don't rub nobody the wrong way. This don't rub nobody the wrong way. Like, this is just a recurring theme, and we're just supposed to say, okay, well, it didn't happen to me. Black people out here killing each other every day. Nobody has smoke for that. Dakara Thompson was killed by an illegal immigrant. Nobody had nothing to say about that. All these convenient or inconvenient passings, nobody got nothing to say about that. But let it be white people. Let it be in something to do with these other races. Everybody is constantly, oh shit, let me pick up my phone. Oh, look, brush my teeth and let me put my eyeliner on, and let me put my lipstick on, and let's have a conversation about what happened with this. Man, if y'all don't get the fuck out of here with that.
Hello. I totally thought it was at 11:30 and not 11.
I know. That's on me. I forgot too.
Well, hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little irritated though, but I'm good.
What are you irritated about?
Trey Reed.
So what's the story with him? Just briefly.
I got you covered. Hold on a second. Let me bring this back on the big screen. Quick recap.
This morning on the black teen that were found hanging in a tree at Delta State University, right? Now the school saying that it wasn't no foul play, it wasn't no threat on campus. But wait, let's backtrack real quick. Now they saying where they found him at, it wasn't no camera on campus. On a university, right? No cameras on a university in that specific spot. So you mean to tell me he walked past 100 trees on that campus just to go to that specific tree? Now, everybody's saying that both of his legs were broke. He looked like he was whooped on. Now, my question is this. If a person gonna unalive themselves, hang themselves in a tree, why would they go somewhere where there's no cameras? Why they just can't do it in open? I mean, if you're gonna unalive yourself, you might as well just do it in open, right? Whether it's cameras there or not. To me, it's obvious that somebody took him there. They knew he went on cameras right there. And y'all don't think that shit suspicious? Let me just say this. Why every time somebody get found hanging in a tree, there's no evidence nowhere in sight? Don't nobody get caught. I have yet seen someone solve one of these cases. So y'all telling me that this the only way that you can get away with the N-word, by hanging somebody in a tree. Now, y'all know I posted a video this morning on the...
There you go.
The only devil, I totally believe that is foul play, but my only devil's advocate is if somebody was to off themselves, I can understand why they might want to go to a very private location, because there is the possibility, like when you hang yourself, it takes longer. And so there's the opportunity for people to save you if they see you. So I could understand why somebody would go somewhere private to do that, but that's still like super sus. I really wish I knew what, like, seen his social media, like kind of see what his what his frame of mind is, because you can kind of tell with a lot of people when they're struggling in that way. So I would be interested to see if he was like happy-go-lucky and like didn't seem at risk. Like he didn't seem unhappy or anything like that. I would definitely suspect that it was foul play. So yeah, that is crazy that this stuff is still happening. That was super common in the like early 1900s. So the fact that they're doing this still is insane.
I don't know nowhere in history where a black person voluntarily hung themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I know we commit suicide. I'm not saying that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But in this matter, no. And then it's like on top of that, to me, it's a signature, and you really kind of just confirmed it. Like who's more known to hang people? Like, come on.
I'm pretty sure it's also a rare method of that. Usually people don't do that because it's extremely stressful to pass away from in that manner. So it's not a commonly chosen, especially because you also have a likelihood of a higher likelihood of surviving, especially if somebody catches you early, because even if you're deprived of oxygen for some amount of time, you can still survive that if someone catches you early enough. But yeah, it's not a common method. I think the most common is either firearms or drugs. I'm gonna look up the stats just to see.
Yeah.
There was a
like I said, I said this earlier. It's either a gun or it's overdose. Or if you're trying to get it over with quick, you might jump into traffic or like do some real extreme shit to get it over with. But this is not a black person thing. And I'm not really trying to be stereotypical, but this is not a black person thing. Whenever you hear about suicide, and on top of that, both his legs were broke. Like, what are we talking about?
That's foul play.
Yeah, both of this man's legs is broke. I said, like, you telling me that man broke his own legs, beat the hell out of himself, and then after all of that, he crawled to a private space. Like, all right, let's make common sense out of this. You're on a campus with thousands of people. Unless you were already at the location and you broke your own legs, I don't see how you could have broken your legs from one location and then dragged yourself to another one without being seen. This was absolutely foul play. 100%. I know it. The world knows it. I will never believe that this was not at the hands of something else. Remember, just yesterday or so, we were talking about, oh yeah, Rob had mentioned it, and he had to re-jog my memory that they closed down his HBCU. Well, actually, they closed down 3 of them. 3 of them were closed because of the stuff that was going on with Kurt. And there's a video where the translucent people, they were protesting. They were saying, white, fight back, white, or some shit like that. And because of that protest, they closed down them three schools. And then you end up seeing something like this happening. It's not a coincidence. My only question is, was this from somebody on campus, or was this a government official or someone with a badge? That's all I want to know. Because I'm already convinced.
I am definitely convinced. I looked up the stats and I was wrong. Suffocation is the second most common method. Firearms is 55%. Suffocation is 24%, and poisoning is 9%, and then other methods is about 8%. Males are most likely to use firearms, 57%, followed by suffocation at 24%. Females would use firearms only 32% of the time, 27% by poison, and 26% by suffocation. So, and then it also mentioned that it's super, super common in countries like China and India. So, yeah, I was wrong about that, but I definitely believe that his was not that, especially with the broken legs. That there's no way somebody is going to break their own legs. Number one, your body will prevent you from doing that with pain and with your body does not want you to do that stuff. So it's almost impossible for somebody to break their own bone on purpose. You would have to use a tremendous amount of force to do that. And both legs, how is he getting up in the tree if he breaks both his legs, if he's beat up and stuff like that? Also, I'm leaning towards it being another student because, the whole aspect of I don't know what to call it, the social constructs and stuff, it just makes my mind go to all of the hazing deaths that have been there, all of the bullying deaths that have happened. And I would not put it past a group of shitty people deciding to take somebody's life just because of, I don't even know why they would have done that, but I would put my bet on other people his age.
It wouldn't really, it don't make a difference what age to me. My problem is it doesn't seem like enough people care about it.
To be honest, our culture, our country doesn't care about a lot of things. I think this country's priorities is survival, compulsive shopping, and credit card. And people don't care about other people unless they're related. And even then, they still don't care. I just saw a video this morning. Oh, wait, no, I think you posted it. The woman that chose her boyfriend over her son for the birthday. I'm like, people don't care. They're just selfish. There's so many people out there that will throw you under the bus just to get what they want. And I would not be surprised if that kind of mentality contributed to these boys, where they just did not care so much that they felt it was their right to take somebody else's life.
I want to know if any of this has anything to do with the Charlie Kirk situation, and they just needed a excuse and a reason to do this, or if this was just something that was already in their heart to do. Because there's a case out in New York where they tried to blame this older man. I believe he was 41 or 51. They tried to say he committed suicide by hanging himself. So they always attach this to suicide, but the signature does not align with what we culturally are accustomed to hearing about. Is this motivated by politics? Is this motivated by just pure ignorance? Is definitely one of the answers. It has to be nothing but pure ignorance. But like
intolerance.
Yeah. What do you think the motivation behind this is, outside of just being hateful, and you feel like, oh, because you have a certain privilege that you can get away with it?
I honestly can't really fathom why people would turn to violence. My personal thought is that it's kind of like a thrill for them, like a thrill killing type of deal, like the type of rush people get from hunting animals or something like that. It kind of makes me think that it would be something like that. But I know sometimes it can be more of like almost like a power trip, where they're like, we are better than you, so we need to show you that, like kind of the same mentality as bullies. Like they might be insecure or whatever, or they have this need to feel more powerful and have that over other people. And so they resort to using threats and violence and all sorts of negative behaviors to quote unquote uplift themselves, to make themselves feel more powerful over other people. That's why we have so many people that want to take advantage of us, because they basically are, well, one, they don't care, but it gives them a sense of power. Like that's why Elon Musk is the prideful a-hole that he is, because he has all this money and basically is the richest person in the world, and so he feels powerful and he can do whatever he wants. Same with our president, same with a lot of people. They feel like because they have money, they have the right to use their power against other people as a way to, again, make themselves feel better.
This is a problem. I mean, it's been a problem, and like honestly, I know it's prophetic. The stuff that we're seeing is. If I said I was surprised, I'd be lying. I'm not surprised. Me personally, from the environmental shifts to the pestilence, the bacteria, the diseases that we're seeing,
starvation and farm collapses,
you name it.
Also, heat causes violence. People get more angry and aggressive, and they have more road rage incidents, more shooting incidents, more fights, and more not suicides. What is it? Something else. But violence increases during extremely hot weather. So as the climate changes, we can also expect that we're going to see more violence. Also, as this political atmosphere and the wealthy versus the common man intensifies, I think we're also going to see violence related to that. Like Charlie Kirk is only the beginning. We're going to see a lot more disarray in the next decade.
Case in point, all prophetic. Everything that we're seeing was designed to happen. It was destined to happen. And it's happening the way it is because we as a people, not white, black, Asian or nothing, but because us as a people are not educated. We're not educated enough. I'm not
Education is a huge component. There's a link between violence and education level. People who are higher education, masters, PhDs. Very, very few, small percentages of them end up being involved in dangerous crimes. Most of the violent crimes come from the lower economic and educational communities.
I agree. The large majority. There's a minority though that does come from the wealthy. And matter of fact, I even make the argument to say, and hey, this is just my opinion. I think a lot of the blood is on the hands of wealthy people. Like I'm looking at it like, all right, we got racism, we got the superficial living, we got the man versus woman shit. I honestly believe that
Black versus white.
I honestly believe that the wealthy are really more responsible for the blood that's on their hands. Pastors, fake pastors, all that, like influencers in general. I think a lot of them have to partially take blame for what's happening too. Because if y'all wasn't so greedy, prideful, manipulative, we probably would have a healthier country. The reason why the country is so infertile now is because of folks who want to extract everything that they possibly can from the rest of the world. But absolutely, ignorance is clearly bliss to some people. Y'all think and swear up and down that what you're doing out here is going to get you very far. You might step on a few toes here and there. You might manage to take somebody's job or position. You might be able to get away with burying a body or two, figuratively and literally. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you still got to answer to God. Whether or not it catches up with you in this lifetime, you're still going to have to answer to a higher. Y'all think y'all just running things down here. And cool, have fun with that. Enjoy it while it lasts. It's not going to last forever. And you're not going to be able to buy or politic your way out of that. You ain't going to have your comrades to step in and say, hey, he's with me and we're the same complexion as you, so you should let us. No, that's not going to work. Can't take your money with you. You can't take your Hollywood stars with you. You can't take your blue checks or your million subscribers with you. Ain't nobody going to be able to represent you when you are dead.
That reminds me of this video I saw yesterday talking about the pharmaceutical industry. And it was a parody conversation of the hospital, the doctor, the insurance, and the whatever the other one was. And I think it was the insurance one. They were like, we don't take advantage of you. We just want you healthy or dead. We don't want to keep you sick. We just want you to die. And I was like, that is so representative of the stuff that we're experiencing right now. Like you can tell that they are trying to steal the power from us. They're trying to make us as vulnerable of society as they possibly can. That's why they're trying to leech all of our resources back, funneling all their resources to themselves. They want to maintain their lifestyle. And I was curious, so I looked it up. Of billionaires, 1%, less than 1% are Black. and 8% are millionaires. So the majority of them are white. So that really shows you the disparity that this country is experiencing, because there isn't even the opportunity, like the American dream idea is dead. There's no way that most people can get by. Like there's so many people that are working 3-4 jobs just to get by. And this is exactly what they want, because then we're so busy with survival that we can't fight back, or they think we can't. So I definitely think that as a society, we are devolving or de-evolving. Like we are going back to almost like primitive tribalism again, where people are so, I don't even know what to call it, like touchy and just opinionated, I guess, and intolerant of other people, that we are degrading our own society because of our attitudes, our laziness, our lack of participation in our own government system. So I think his incident, both this murder, that's what I'm calling it, Charlie Kirk, the CEO of the United Healthcare, whatever, these are all signs and symptoms of a greater turmoil in this country. And it's only the beginning. I guarantee it's only the beginning. As this presidency progresses, as environmental changes happen, as people get poorer and poorer, prices going higher and higher, food getting more and more scarce, farmers losing their crops, we are going to suffer. And with suffering comes violence. As I said earlier, the lowest brackets, income brackets, and the lowest educated are the ones most involved in violent activity because they have to.
Yeah, I get that. I don't think that has anything to do with this particularly, though. I don't think none of them people on them campuses, especially of that race, really knows about struggle or financial struggle. I'm referring to the whites. Okay, I'm referring to the whites. It is what it is. Their parents typically are able to cover all of their bookings, their classes, courses, whatever. They just there to start shit, party, be reckless. You're just what's wrong with people? Like, what's really wrong with people? I said, when I was a kid, man, I didn't sign up for this. I did not sign up for all of this ignorant shit. I just wanted to live a normal, simple life and contribute to the world without having to worry about someone tying me to a tree or some weird shit, or a bullet because of somebody not wanting me to wear the shoes that I got on, or because you think you're a superior race than me, or I wasn't on that type of time. I don't think a lot of children grew up thinking like that. That shit is programmed into people. But here's my issue. Just beyond everything we just covered, why isn't this getting the same level of attention? Like, why isn't anyone clipping and creating memes and shorts and reels about it? How come nobody is sitting around in panels of different ethnicities having a conversation about this? Where's the urgency? Because I sure as hell see Charlie Kirk everywhere. I can't go nowhere without seeing his face. Hell, Donald Trump personally made it his business to express how he feels about the Ukrainian woman and him. I haven't heard him speak about none of this. Nothing in particular to what's going on with these men and women that's of an opposite complexion. Why isn't Andrew Tate speaking on it? Why isn't Piers Morgan speaking on it? Where's Candace Owens? Where's all of your big conglomerates? The ones that we watch daily. This is the shit that I was talking about last night. About how people be pandering and grifting, like they'll play both sides. They want you to believe that they're for this, but they're really just trying to shut you the hell up. They don't want you challenging them on their real
pacification.
Yes. And you said it last night too. Pick a side. Pick a side. But see, then you'll lose your sponsors. Everybody that's funding your YouTube channel and everybody that's keeping the money in rotation on your platform, if you start taking sides, then they're not going to want to work with you no more. That's why I don't have respect for a lot of them people. Because they full of shit.
We've already seen a rash of firings because they said uncouth things about Charlie Kirk. And I've seen at least 3 women journalists, Black women journalists, being the ones that are being fired. Even though we have, I forgot what his name was, but we had that one newscaster / politician, whatever he was, saying that we should murder all homeless people, like euthanize them all. Like they themselves condone violence, and then they get on Democrats for being violent, even though the latest shooters were pretty much all Republican. It's crazy to me that they can turn this around on us and say, oh, it's the Democrats, it's the Democrats. I'm like, how is it the Democrats when we're the ones that are against the weapons that the Republicans are using on Democrats? Like, people still don't talk about the Congress or the representatives that were murdered in their home. And that was 4 people. But again, as you said, Kirk is all over the internet right now. And I also found it ironic that Trump didn't go to his memorial. I'm like, all that talk, and you definitely showed that you actually don't give an F.
Trump about himself. He about his people, whoever's in his closest circle. The people that's looking over us don't care about us, man. They never did. If they put it this way, they did at one point, but they don't anymore. I can't give you a time.
I found an interesting stat that the top 3 countries for billionaires are America, China, and Mexico. I'm really surprised about that one. But they have the highest, and then India is 4th. They have the highest number of ridiculously wealthy people. I wonder if a lot of the Mexican billionaires are just expats from California or from the United States, because in Mexico they have different lower taxes and stuff like that, less loopholes, so they're able to take advantage of people more easily in Mexico than in America.
It's possible. I'm not surprised at nothing. Nothing surprised me. Everything is about money. Everybody wants money. Everybody wants to live comfortable. Shit, I want to live comfortable. You think
a lot of people live excessively? It's not even comfortable. I just watched a video this morning about overconsumption, and this lady bought $30,000 on clothes and purses for school. This other lady bought like 20 purses. And then she already had a wall of purses in the background. I'm like, what is happening? What? Like, oh my God, how are people so like deceived? They're so, as I said, they're so pacified that they don't even notice that their rights are being taken away, that they're being exposed to increase to more and more violence over time. Like, people are just not paying attention. A perfect example is I think it was this morning or a couple days ago, within the week, there's a protest that's been outside the White House for years. I think they've been there at least 5 to 10 years protesting the use of war. And it was literally, they just sit outside in their tents and then talk to people as they went by, advocating for us to A, release the files, and B, not involve ourselves in all of these wars. And oh my God, I heard Trump talking to one of his staff members, and the staff member had the nerve to say that it was anti-American for him to be out there and that he needed to be removed because it was criminal activity. Yeah, peaceful protesting is criminal apparently now. And they removed him. Trump heard that stuff and he's like, oh, I never noticed it before. Go ahead and remove it today. Like, they don't want to understand why we're unhappy. They don't want to fix the things that are broken. They want to keep breaking them. That way we don't have access to them. They also are very actively trying to take away our freedom of speech. So many people are being silenced right now. We had what was he? Oh, he's a Marine. He got let go because he said something unsavory about Kirk on his profile. We've had people that, as I said, like working for newspapers that have gotten fired, people working just average jobs getting fired by their bosses because the bosses were Republican and they weren't happy that they were Democrat. It's bleeding into regular society. And I think with the longer we ignore this blatant violence, the more vulnerable we're making ourselves to the violence itself. Like, we've seen what's happening with school shootings. We've seen what's happening on the streets with ICE. Like, it is becoming a very dangerous place to be a normal human being.
I haven't even heard too many people talk about the school shooters. I'm like dead serious. I scroll social media most of the day. I probably come across it at least 3 to 4 times minimum. Nobody is really talking about it. And
there's also you can also tell their racism through their lack of concern for other countries that need support. A lot of African countries, the perfect example I learned about this morning, there was a landslide in Sudan that covered a town and killed over 1,000 people. And I've seen jack on the news about it. Nobody's talking about it. But meanwhile, if there's a storm or tsunami or whatever, we leap in and try and help them. But it has to be the communities that they care about. Who cares about Sudan? It's not a rich country. Why do we have to care about what's happening there? Even though that's an absolute tragedy. So they show it in so many ways. Not talking about it, not talking about the things that are going on is definitely one of the ways that they're trying to divert our attention to unimportant things, to distract us from what they're really doing.
All facts. One of the things that I love about me, I have no ties to nobody. So I can pretty much free fall, talk about whatever the hell we want up here.
I've been rereading a book by The Silent Spring, the book by Rachel Carson. And in the foreword, they discussed how the reason why she was able to have such a great impact is because she was an individual. She wasn't linked to any company. She wasn't linked to any organizations. And so they were unable to dismiss her claims because they couldn't blame it on somebody else. They couldn't say, oh, this group is telling her to say this. Oh, this is just planned out or whatever. Because she was absolutely independent and an individual on her own, it made it have a much, much bigger impact. And so I think that's something that we need to keep in mind, that we actually have an advantage as individuals because we aren't being like held down by companies, by organizations trying to make sure that we have a certain attitude and talk a certain way and support the right people. Because most people have no affiliations with things. I think they might be able to have more of an impact because then they can more personally relate to people. Because we all know when corporate tries to be relatable, it's usually tone deaf. It's usually not a helpful type of response to stuff like that.
In other words, y'all want to work for the man? All right, cool. You know what come with it? Your silence. You can't say shit. Just zip your mouth, go in there, clock in, clock out, pay your bills, and stay on that hamster wheel. I ain't knocking it. I did it. To me, though, it's like, is it really worth it? Because what you're telling me is not only do you not respect me as an employee, you don't respect my family, you don't respect my time because life is fleeting. You don't respect me as a human being in general. All you care about is getting out of me as much as you can to benefit you. In the end of the day, when it's all said and done, your family is going to be set for generations upon generations. I don't have that same luxury. I got to go through a million loopholes to obtain anywhere remotely close to the equivalency that you have, which is probably not going to happen in my lifetime because, let's face it, most of us will never become millionaires and billionaires. So at the end of the day, we just clock in, clock out, pay the bills, come home.
Accumulate debt.
And accumulate debt. Don DeMarco.
Don DeMarco.
Ann Coulter was on TV the other day, and she said that she hates Trump. I think she's on the news or whatever, commentator. She was saying like, oh yeah, I hate Trump. He's absolutely a terrible president. He's a criminal. He's really corrupt and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, why do you support him? And she's like, well, as long as we get a wall around our country and expel all the immigrants, I don't care who's the president. That's the attitude that is coming from the people making our laws. That is not okay. We cannot keep these people in their positions. And honestly, we kind of have to silence them back. Like, if we're not allowed to say what we feel, then we shouldn't allow them to express how they feel. It's a double standard.
I guess that goes all across the board. You know, in all honesty, a lot of this stuff could be avoided. It could have been avoided. Not like a lot of the extremes, but most of the ignorance and the politicking and like a lot of this stuff definitely could have been handled differently if we actually stopped the unnecessary bickering and arguing and actually took, like they do every couple of years, go to the White House. If we did that and we actually as a whole made our voices more heard, Maybe a lot of these Klan members wouldn't exist. Maybe a lot of these black kids will still have a chance. That man should still be alive. There's no reason in the world why he should be hosting a funeral service at 19 years old. No excuse for that. And it's like, how much more do we gotta see? How much more do you need to know that they don't really care about us in general before y'all actually stop subscribing to the things that you're actually, you say you're not supporting it, but you're supporting it because that receipt suggests otherwise. As soon as you leave that market, or as soon as you leave Amazon or wherever you go to purchase your possessions, that receipt says you support them. So whatever you saying out your mouth don't really make a difference.
One of the perfect examples of how we are able to make a difference if we all group together. We all know in the 50s, 60s, there was a lot of upheaval, a lot of demands for like rights and for equal treatment and stuff like that. During that time, during the 50s and 60s, that was the time period where we had the least wealth disparity of any time period. We had more equality, we had more resources available for all communities, things were more affordable. And it wasn't until the 80s, 90s when we started to get corporatized, people started merging, people started getting much bigger. We had an explosion in brand name as opposed to individuals running their own businesses that ended up getting pushed out. Their jobs ended up being unavailable because they're switching everything to tech and everything. But yeah, it's that time period is the perfect example of why we need to get together as a whole. As the 99%, we will only achieve what we know we need by working together. And there's so much hatred from both ends that it's so difficult to come together because people don't have common views anymore. And I think a lot of people are out of touch with what life is like when you don't actually have those resources. We have, in the same way, we've forgotten what it's like to have widespread disease because everyone can get malaria and dysentery and all that stuff. Like, people don't realize how challenging life can be without all of these resources we see as a like frivolous whatever. But yeah, my main message is we really have to work together. We have to find a way to bind our communities again, to find commonalities that we can all stand behind. That way, with our numbers, we can make a difference because boycotts work. Target is suffering, Walmart is suffering, Amazon is suffering. Like, they do work. We just have to be as persistent as possible. We have such short-term memories now that even when we start something, we can't finish it. Like, we jump from trend to trend. Like, every month it's something different and our focus is on something different. Like, even though we are heavily focused on Kirk now, I bet when the next Republican gets killed, we're going to be focused on them. We're going to forget about Kirk and not care about him. So it's something that we absolutely need to work together on because these companies are so powerful. The only thing that will stop them is if we stop funding them completely.
And that's a fact. That is 1000% fact. I like what you say about short-term memory because we do. You'll jump on a subject when it's hot And then as soon as it's not really getting you anywhere or
Trendy.
yeah, you just move on. It's like, oh shit, I guess this wasn't as serious as you said it was, because now you on to talking about Lil Bow Wow and Cardi B just dropped this, and like come on, man, that's not gonna cut it. We need consistency. We definitely need consistency. And on top of that, how else is accountability going to be enforced? You hit.
Go ahead.
You slap somebody on the wrist and then say, all right, don't do it again. That's not going to happen. You tell somebody to stand in the corner for 5 minutes. Yeah.
I wonder if I also wonder if like the frequency of this violence is also contributing to it, because it can desensitize us and make it seem normal. Like as you said earlier, like I'm not surprised at all. Like we as a society have become like blasé about it because it's such a routine part of society now that people don't even notice it anymore. It's just like, oh, another shooting, oh, another murder, oh, another like people getting sent to concentration camps in other countries. Like we are so, and then also the fact that so many people are just focused on some people are so are struggling so much to survive that they can't even afford to pay attention. Like people working, I've heard of people talking about working 3 jobs and what it's like, and they literally are like, I go to work, I work all day, and then, or like I work my first job, then I work my second job, then I do Uber, then I go home and sleep, and then they have no time for leisure ever. And if that continues, like people are losing touch with what's actually happening around them. Like they're so unable to pay attention that everything seems like, well, it's going to happen. There's nothing we can do about it. It's just normal part of society. It's not normal part of society. And we should not allow ourselves to be desensitized by how frequently these events are happening. We need to give credence to the school shootings in the same way that we gave credence to Columbine and Virginia Tech and all of the big deal shootings that we've had. But meanwhile, we have elementary school kids being shot in their schools, shot at camps, shot in their own neighborhoods, in their homes. And we're like, oh, it happens.
Rest in peace to Trey Reed. Nobody should be burying their child this young. If you don't have an issue with being forced to live your entire life on the clock, that's on you. I know we got to work, but to that extent, nah, that's unnatural. Another thing that's unnatural is picking and choosing when you care and what matters and what doesn't. That's unnatural to me. I was always raised to believe that you're supposed to love thy neighbor. I don't have hate in my body. I don't have racism in my body. I don't have any other motives other than to be pleasing in the sight of God Himself. And I fall short a lot, but I would never take power and abuse it. I would never rally up a group of Black people and say, oh, we going to Hunky Town and we gonna rile up a bunch of these crackers and we gonna whip them into shape. Wee-hoo! I'm not doing that. Like, come on, man. All I want to do is live a simple, normal life, man. Enjoy what time I got on this planet left. Let the people know that God still exists. We need more people like that. What happened to empathy? What happened to compassion? Why are we so disconnected? Is society, is the world really? I really want people to think about this. Are you disconnected from the world? You know how many times I read the comment section and I have conversations with people to say I don't like people. I don't want to be around people. I'm okay with staying to myself because everybody is sneaky. Everybody backstabbing. You know how many times I see that over and over and over again? They have apps right now where the videos highlight nothing but violence. I don't know. My heart goes out to him. I wanted to do this particular stream specifically because I know that I'm not going to see nobody really talking about it. And I need answers. We need answers. I want to know what the hell happened. I want to know what's going on. How did he get up there? Because you took this man to a location that you knew had no cameras. That was deliberate.
I wonder if they'll find videos of him walking on other cameras, walking to that location with I'm guessing the people that perpetrated it, because obviously if they're going to walk across campus to a location that can't be filmed, they're still going to be walking past cameras that exist. So I wonder why, or if they have seen anything that could indicate that he was walking with multiple people to that location. But I don't know. I don't know if I trust them to do their due diligence and actually investigate properly. I mean, we've seen this time and time again where like, suicide, next. Like, they don't even care to investigate anymore. Like, they just think, well, it makes sense. All right, we're done. So we really have to start making them care, demanding that they care, demanding that justice is had. Yeah.
It took y'all, what, a day and a half to catch the killer for Charlie Kirk? A day and a half? But let me guess. Y'all not going to be able to figure this one out, huh? Like, what are we talking about? I encourage the viewers, get you cameras, get you all the security cameras that you can possibly get and put them everywhere that you can possibly put them. Because you're not about to sit up here and finesse me. Matter of fact, stop. It's to the point to where I will put cameras on my body cameras in the glasses. I don't give a fuck. You not about to sit up here and play around with me like that. Because we know they got footage. You're not going to tell me there's none. And on top of that, not only do I want to see footage, I don't know the name of these guys, but I need the forensic guy, the person who studies video shit. I can't think of the name of it. We need them on it too. Because you're not about to sit here and say, oh, here's what we got from this night, and I'm just going to go with that. Because the shit with Epstein proved to me that you can modify the elements within the pixels, and you're not about to finesse me with that. Put the same energy that you put into Charlie Kirk into this. Where's the FBI? Where's the U.S. Army? I don't see it. I don't hear it. That's what this is about. This is what this video about. Keep the same energy you had for him, for this brother here, and the rest of them. The Kara. All of them. Not just the Ukrainian woman. Everybody. I expect results within 24 hours. There's no way in the world you can catch him that quick, and you can't do the same here. That always bothered me. I'm just like, damn, y'all got crimes that's been unsolved for 40, 50 years. And it only took you a day and a half to catch him. I know the technology is there. Hell, China, shit, China, I'm late to this. China just created this invisible cloak. Like the shit, I'm looking at it like you will, nobody will see you. Nobody will literally see you walking.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Check out the video I uploaded. That shit is wild. If China can do that, I know the United States got something they ain't trying to show us. I'm not dumb. Y'all hiding stuff. Do you have any final words? Anything that you want to add before we get up out of here?
I do have a poem.
Gotcha. Look, well, I'm gonna let you close out. I want to give a shout out to the people that's in the building. We might not communicate afterwards. Hopefully we do. If we don't, this ain't about nothing other than to give that man a voice, because he didn't have one in his final hours. There was nobody there to defend him. He doesn't have anybody to stand up for him. The only people left is his family. And his family is going to be up against a whole lot of people. You know how this works. Y'all have been around the globe just as long as me. So repost, share this video out. Let the people know we want answers. We want results. We need results. Don't let this get swept under the rug. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to you to close us out.
All right. So this poem is called Voluntary Infection. I thought it fit really well with our topic for today. The open wound sits and festers, with little white worms wriggling, wiggling through the carnage on which they feed. Their eyeless bodies masquerade as cleaners and healers, praying that you don't look, that you stay for the pain. The crawling inside warns of a future denied. The silent itch begs to be scratched. Tears request you react. Yet, as the open wound sits and festers, you pick at your bloody edges, wondering why they won't leave. You just pick to bleed, wondering why it hurts. We welcome them into the paradise of our skin, as we need the suffering for which we seek. So I basically wrote that about the people taking advantage of us and how we really need to start doing something about it.
Let's please do something about it. Let this not be the last time we have a discussion on this. Can we find out what happened to him? Can we put whoever is responsible behind bars? I thank y'all for hanging out with us this morning, this afternoon, whatever time it is. Y'all have a blessed day. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Do me a solid before y'all go.
Put your goddamn button back.
Have a good day, guys.
Mantra. slave song, slave ship, rip skin made me rip bones. But no matter how close I, my ancestors speak, they tell me they're tired of them praying on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I've surpassed peak, until they think we are equal. Please, all I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their palms would bleed, begging that generations remember our